The U.S. Budget Office came out with a projection saying that it may take nearly a decade for the U.S. economy to recover from the shock that we just saw. What does that mean in terms of the unemployment rate going forward on a sort of sustainable basis over the next 5, say, years?
So look, I think the experience we had before COVID-19, which suggested that we could get the unemployment rate down to very low levels without having those sorts of problems of inflation we've had in the past, I think that is relevant experience for where we should try and get to in the long run. But look, we haven't seen unemployment at these levels since the Great Depression. When we had the Great Recession a decade ago, the unemployment rate got to 10%, and it took us 8 or 9 years to get it down below 4%. It's over 15 now. It's going higher before this is over. Yes, it is going to take a long time for us to get back. I'm not sure it's necessarily going to take as long as it did following the last big recession, but it's going to take a long time.
This is the issue, Tom, the number one issue, and Lisa raises exactly the right question on unemployment. Tom, you and I have been talking about this together with Lisa over the last several months or so. We could approach 20%. We could have some real improvement in the back half of this year, but we could still end the year at double figures. And that's going to be unacceptable and should be unacceptable to absolutely everybody, Tom.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And Dr. Alexander, what's so important about that observation is what it does to inequality. Now, we don't need to go on a Tuesday into the Gini coefficient and all the dynamics of inequality, but has it ever been wider?
You have to go back a long time for it's been worse. We've never had a shock that is more disparate. One of the things I will just note to bring it back to the employment report we're going to get on Friday, we're expecting average hourly earnings to go up by 1.3 percentage points on a month when we lose over 5 million jobs. Now, how do you make sense of that? The way you make sense of that is the jobs we're losing are low-wage jobs. And that disparity between what happens with average hourly earnings and the headline employment is a direct reflection of the inequality of the effects of this. And I do think that that is an aspect of this which we can't get away from, and it's going to affect the politics of this. In some ways, these are trends that have been out there for a long time. They're not really new, but it is very much going to sort of highlight those problems, and I think it's going to be an important part of the election.